It should not.
Did I look at the wrong one? Okay, I looked at the wrong one.
Okay, we'll call the October 4th, 2021 Management Services Committee to order. A motion to approve the agenda. Mr. Dukoff, Mr. Bauer, second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, that passes. Are there any public comments? Seeing none. Maintenance supervisor report.
Well, don't have a whole lot on here to report. Since we were just in here, what, 4 weeks ago or something? I have a short list here. I'll run through for you real quick. I purchased salt this month, 4 pallets. This year I'm getting it from Robbie up at Plum Mart. He's given me the best price of all the local vendors. We no longer can charge out at Stock and Field. They have none of their charge accounts up yet. I don't know when or how they're going to do that, but still nobody can charge out there. Not sure what their plan is, but I'm told they're losing a lot of business though because of that. I'm hoping to get that remedied soon. I purchased a plethora of filters for a lot of the units over there, like up in the penthouse that you guys saw last week, or last month rather. A couple low water cutoffs. I have one of those, seems to go out every winter on one of the 7 boilers, so I have a couple of those in stock now. And the new burner sleeve for the 1 boiler that was torn. I may have set a record for a claim for a Plum Mart since I've been here. It was the price you gave me on the salt though was very good. It was $5.80 a bag. It's like 60 cents more or something than what I was getting out at Stock and Field. So it's really, there's a small increase this year, but it's nothing significant. In the deputy's garage over behind the jail, it has very low ceilings, and with these new vehicles now, instead of having the Impalas with the Tahoes and trucks, we have to put a new garage door opener in there that is water resistant because it's getting wet and it got fried. And when I say that, literally smoke was rolling out of it. And I had Doug's overhead come look at it, and he said, yeah, the control board in there got toasted. And so sheriff asked me if they have such thing, for car washes and things. And yes,
Sheriff.
this is the old sheriff.
Okay.
I'll call him Derek Hagan now. This was still in his tenure. But anyway, Doug's, it's on order now, and here in the next week or so, they're going to install a water-resistant one in there, so we'll take care of that. I had to put a new battery maintainer in the generator over behind the jail. It was giving me an alarm as I walked by. I could hear it high pitched. I looked, and the battery was very low, and the maintainer was. I had to do the same thing over here behind the health department a couple of years ago. So I just went out and got a new maintainer and wired it in there, and it's fine now. Parking lot. I was starting to get nervous, but it is a project for this year. I'm told by IPC that it is getting done this fall. Not sure how late into the fall you can lay asphalt, but I see over the weekend there's a lot of spray paint, and I actually saw a couple of people. I drove by as on my way out to the store, and there's a couple IPC people here wheeling some stuff off and a lot of spray paint markings and whatnot. So that is still a project that is getting done. Over here, I am having one awning recovered, the one on that southeast entrance. The top was just all full of holes and whatnot, and I had to run it up to Kankakee Tent Awning because they're short-staffed. Instead, they didn't have time to come down and do it, but they'd gladly do it if I would run it up, so I did. And that's up there right now, getting recovered. And that's all the major stuff really to report. I did a lot of piddly stuff. I did some painting. I painted all the brown benches over there around the courthouse this month. I'm doing some small painting stuff inside the jail. They have their annual inspection this Wednesday. And there's some stuff I need to do in there. Tomorrow's going to be jail day. I'll be in there most of the day. I have to fix a couple lights, and I need to put in a cable box in one of the blocks that went bad. I have to go out and get that today. That's pretty much all I have to report this time.
Have you checked like the salt spreader yet to make sure it didn't seize up or anything over there?
I have not, but when I put all that stuff, I changed the oil and the plow, or the hydraulic rather and stuff, and I lubed everything up. I'd spray it, so it's, but that's a good idea this month. I will put that on there and make sure we have rotation and whatnot, so. And that being said, everything, we have the salt now, the maintenance shed's a mess now, because the guy who does all the vehicles is in there. He's working on the ESTA vehicle, and he's working on the new, one of the deputies' Tahoes is in there. It's like halfway done. We've got stuff everywhere. And the salt valves are just kind of randomly placed in there, but I like to kind of keep a little more organized than that. But he should be done here this month, and then we'll get, hope we don't have to talk about snow for a couple more months, but it's hard to believe it's already October, and what happened?
You said something about the height in the garage over there. Is that gonna be an issue? Is that something in the next couple of years we need to look at, maybe a new garage over there, or?
I don't know. There's only 2 bays. You know what I'm talking about exactly. There's 2 bays there, and the one on the west side, they're hardly ever in there. They pull in there to change a flat tire or like do little piddly stuff on their cruisers, and that other one's just primarily used as a wash bay. Excuse me, but I don't know if it's something that they would want to visit in the upcoming years, possibly putting up something different.
It's not something that's used regularly though, so we don't.
No, it's kind of like a car wash. If we can remedy this problem with an opener that's not going to get sprayed, maybe we can get it go for a while.
Okay. Anybody else got any questions?
What's the additional extinguisher for, what's the new office? We got a new office?
No,
sorry.
well, technically, yes.
Okay.
For the health department, Eric Stacy's the long
Okay.
tunnel office. We put an extinguisher in there.
Sorry, I just said new office A. I'm looking.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
That is something too that I kept getting this bill from them, and I didn't know what the heck it was for, so I just didn't pay it. And then
Gotcha.
they clarified here this month, and I was like, oh, and I sent them back a very nice email apologizing for my delinquent payment. And so that's what that is on here.
Thank you.
Is the new sheriff gonna keep yelling?
Sorry?
Is the new sheriff gonna keep yelling?
I don't know. We haven't covered that yet.
Maybe we'll ask him at judicial.
Okay.
We have a 50% say in
Yeah. Are you guys rooting for me, or are you trying to tell me something? No.
haven't taken a vote yet.
Okay.
I think you're fine.
So this is my final meeting? How much money I gotta spend here?
Thank you, Chris.
All right, farm management issues. I sent a text to Walker Farms to let us know when the crop is off, so that you can let the testing company know. She said she would do that, so as far as I know, that the crop is not off yet. Anybody think of anything else for that?
When do they pay us? Twice a year?
No, it's in the spring.
Okay.
I don't know the exact date, maybe March 1st.
Usually,
All right. There's no other
Looking to you for one.
farm management issues. We'll discuss animal control
your money,
penalty.
I'd throw mine away.
Oh,
Mr. Scher, you said that we have a temporary something or other, but you didn't elaborate on that. Could you inform the committee where we're at?
well, we made arrangements with the gentleman that owns the former Fort Iroquois Public Health Department building on 3rd Street to use part of that building temporarily. So it's gonna cost us $667 a month. We'll be able to put some kennels in there, crates and that sort of thing, house animals temporarily. The wardens will be actively involved in doing all that work. I believe they're gonna purchase a big tarpaulin and put on the floor, so there's no, whatever might get done won't provide any issues or problems for the building over there.
Okay.
So, and I think, and the understanding is that it's a month-by-month deal. If we get, hopefully get to the point where we've got something permanent in place, then. Because one of the issues is that location is not really ideal as far as them, with dogs taking them out to walk them around and exercise them. But it's something they think they can get it done, but it's not the best thing in the world. Right now, that's all we got to go with as far as the place to house any animals that get picked up. Thankfully, is in the winter months, there usually aren't quite as many animals picked up as there are in the summer months, but hard to predict that too.
Now, Mrs. Johnson asked about the kennels from the flood time. Is that what they're gonna use? Or what happened to those kennels?
I'm not sure about the ownership of those kennels. We've got some kennels stored back here in where we're gonna make that conference room,
Okay,
where Head Start used to be. And I donated some crates as well. I think we have enough to get started in that regard, but I'm not aware of everything that happened with those kennels that were used back then. You know, Jill?
I don't know, that was, prior to my time, but with talking with Linda, the only thing that Dr. Yusuf, gave them when he retired was a few of the crates and a couple traps.
I want to say that there was like 8 or 10 of them that were purchased brand new, maybe even more than that. And that came with the flood grant money.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Did ESTA purchase those?
That's
Or yeah. Did Mr. Stacy purchase those?
that's who I thought purchased them.
No, he might know what became of them, but I can't imagine that Yusuf would have held on to them since he retired and gave everything up. He didn't take anything with him as far as I know.
Probably just locating them.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
the way Chris is thinking, you don't know any laying around anywhere.
I don't. And actually, I was just sitting here thinking about what I have to do in jail.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. No, I've never come across any cages, traps, anything like that. So no, I don't.
Well, if you have to go to the jail, I mean.
No, tomorrow's jail day.
Okay,
It's today's think about it day.
okay.
I think we have enough to get started with that, and if we need more, I probably have some more that I can donate, need be.
Okay. Jill has given us a couple different layouts and stuff. Paul, you said
You haven't heard from any of the three?
No.
Okay, I'll contact another one.
Okay.
I've been in contact with different companies trying to get somebody to build it. Give me an idea price-wise. And nobody's gotten back to me. I'll somebody get back to her, it's not.
I did stop at the vet in Gilman, just to talk to her a little bit. And it would be nice, she said, to have an exam room. I don't know if that was in any of the drawings.
I just put work area in so we can, if that's what needs to be done with it, we can change it into an exam room.
Yeah, something enclosed.
Mm-hmm.
And hers was about 8 by 12, and she said that's big for most of them. And a sink would be nice, she said.
Mhm.
Not absolutely necessary, but nice.
And I have that in mind.
Okay.
She's actually been helping us out a little bit. We had an accident over the weekend on 57 where a dog needed some immediate attention, and I got a hold of her. She took care of that for us. So.
I guess in talking with, the animal control personnel, do they feel, or maybe you didn't ask, if we're gonna build, would it be better closer to the admin center or closer to the jail? Those being our two places where,
They're just excited about getting a new building, but, since I'm here at the admin building, it'd be easier for them to be here, but with all of the foot traffic and the other location where, it could possibly go over at the jail courthouse towards the back, cause here it would have to be towards the front. That's something to think about as well.
and I did contact the mayor of Watsika to see if we could get an idea of where water and sewer lines are for us to connect to.
Yeah, I've been talking to Ryan Wheeler as well about septic and water, and so far he hasn't gotten anything back to me yet, but I'll follow up with him again.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause that could determine.
Mm-hmm.
So, anybody have any other questions? Sherry? At the last meeting is when we decided on who the committee would be. It's me and Paul. You weren't there. We were the only two that said we'd do it. If you want the opportunity, if you're too busy, it's up to you. And you don't have to tell right now. It's just let us know if you think you want to help, or you can just give us ideas. It's
Okay.
whatever.
Well, and you're talking about building, you're just gonna build an actual building, or?
Yeah.
Yes. I can see the everything.
Yeah, because I'm just wondering if it's, I don't know what kind of budget are you looking at for that at this point?
That's why he's trying to get
That's what I'm trying to.
prices.
Prices, and obviously the three companies I called didn't want to call either one of us.
Well, because some of the, like, over at Kentland, she just moved in one of those prefab houses,
Okay.
which, I mean, she's got a big one, but I know they make them much smaller that,
That'd be great.
that
You
it's
can
kind
give
of
me the
already
name of the place, I'll call them in a heartbeat.
much simpler that way than,
Because I called 3 different builders and I had a great conversation with them, but obviously nothing progressed. Sent the email, explained to them what we're looking for, and I told them to contact her or me on an email, and
Maybe they're
Well, you're gonna
estimators are busy, I don't know.
short staffed and.
I find people right now, so.
One thing to keep in mind though is if we were gonna add on to the maintenance shed, we probably would wanna try and make the design of it compatible with
Agreed.
what's already there, which is a pole building.
Right.
If we were gonna add on here, we'd wanna make it, again, compatible with this building, which is completely different structure, so. However, that meshes in with everything, it's just something to keep in mind.
Best thing to do is get somebody in here that's interested in building, come sit here and hear us talk. That's
Right.
what I'm trying to do.
I was just thinking when you get one of those homes, they've already got the insulation figured in, and, all those schematics, you can just move the walls and everything, so, but, yeah, it's gotta fit.
I do.
Yes.
While we're talking about it, I have a couple quick comments. If we're gonna add on to possibly the north or south side of that maintenance shed, I'm having here in the next month or two before the budget year's over, a half a dozen of those dead trees, the small that I've been talking about all summer. There's 4 of them on the north side of the maintenance shed that are 3/4 dead. While I have them here, do you want me to have them remove those just so we're one step ahead of the process? I was maybe gonna hold off on those for another year, just, money wise, but it might be wiser to have them do it while they're here, and because by next year, they're gonna be practically dead anyway. That is something I'm sitting here thinking about, and also, if they're gonna do a whole separate standalone building, that whole east side, that field behind the maintenance shed in the south, that all serves as like a large swale to remove stormwater, because there's that storm sewer that runs it's a tile, it runs underneath Grant Street. And when we get heavy rains, that turns into a small creek back there, and it flows to that far south side of 10th Street, and then they have a large register inlet there, and it, eventually goes down to Legion Park. But that is something to keep in mind as well. They would have to figure out some way to be able to keep that water flowing through there. And also, if anyone wants to know where like the sanitary and water is on the property, I know where all that stuff is, so that's all I have.
Yes.
Are you planning to utilize a generator for this building? I would assume that since it's going to be inhabited by animals, you're going to have to keep and cool it in some way, shape, or form. And when power goes out, you're going to be responsible for those animals in some way, shape, or form. I don't know. Number one, if you decide for this property, can said generator that you already have go that far? And if you decide to go through the current garage, is that run off the generator?
Maintenance shed is not on generator.
That might be another situation to take a look at.
That might be something that we could just get a manual generator for instead of one of the,
Keep a portable on hand,
yeah.
or even a,
Because you never go on vacation anyway, so you'll be around.
no, if I do, I don't tell anybody, I just leave. Yeah, I think a portable is, I don't,
And that we can get for under 1,000 usually.
oh yeah. Yeah. I don't think we would want to attempt to start tapping into the one that is getting close to capacity anyway, and it's, anyway.
Okay. Anybody got any other questions?
Yeah, should he cut the trees down?
Well,
I would think
Yeah.
if they're gonna be dead anyway, I mean, they charge per tree, right?
yeah,
Or
and
do
if they
they
have to
have-
bring all their equipment and come back again, it's,
Yeah.
when you see just over the weekend, the 4 that are on the corner there of 10th and Grant that are dead, one of them's laying on the ground this morning, so it's time.
Yeah.
What do they charge you a tree?
You don't know.
Do you remember all of the, by chance, the work that I'd done last fall? They took down those 2 big dead ash trees right by the jail entrance, and I had 2 of those that were, speaking of trees, and it was only like $2,200. Are you saying, wow, that's a lot, or wow, that's a little?
Wow, that's a lot.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, I got a guy come from Sister Park, cut him down for $300 a piece. Big sugar mix.
Did you have insurance?
Yeah, he's what's his name?
How much to buy you a chainsaw?
Yeah.
But he didn't haul them off.
Right,
Did he grind the stumps?
No.
yeah, so. Yeah, I mean,
Well, I can get someone here to cut them down and fell them onto the ground, but yeah, for peanuts. But if you're gonna haul them away and grind the stumps and clean up, that's a different story.
yeah, 'cause I mean, they're out in the open, you don't have a lot to worry about.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I've heard people $6,000-7,000 to take one tree down.
The other tree was on Grant, once you get close to the railroad tracks and point the wrong way, up here, those big dead ash trees well on the west side of the road, and he took that one out as well. That was part of that batch last fall.
Does he do any chipping where we can just dump the chips out here or
Mulch.
mulch? Yeah,
I don't know.
I just, rather than have him haul something away, if he's got the stuff to just mulch it and put it out here. And how is that looking? Is it still looking okay out here or? is it- Okay.
Yeah.
I've been told, and I don't have any proof of this, sometimes what happens if you just chip a tree, it gets really full of wild bugs.
They like the chips, yeah.
So that could be a,
I had a load dumped from Eastern Illinois on my property for mulch. It was a mess. I had to get rid of most of it, dump it.
Yeah, somebody wanna officially make a motion to tell them to take the trees down?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second? Mr. Alt? All, spending money, so
You don't know how much money we're spending.
about 1,000 per tree, isn't it? Is that what we're figuring?
No, I don't think it'll be that much with these smaller trees though.
Okay. You have it in your budget.
Yeah, I have half of my maintenance budget left.
You're gonna just put a cap on it, just up to,
I wouldn't cap it, because I don't know what it's gonna cost, and then we're stuck with.
How many trees are there?
4, 5, 6, 9.
The
forest.
Yeah. You already planned to get some done.
Maybe we can get a grant.
Yeah.
You're talking about additional ones.
Yeah, I've already planned on doing, made mention of this a lot over the summer. I was kind of waiting till the end to see budget-wise, but then the only question was these additional ones to the north of the maintenance shed, just to try to, I didn't want to like make a big deal out of it or anything. It's
How-
not,
From the maintenance shed over, how many, how big were those building plans? I don't remember offhand.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's an intention to go that direction, because there's a power
We have no
pole here
idea.
that's it's kind of in the air right now.
You're looking at around 700 square feet, 7 to 8.
How long?
I don't know if I ever said how long.
Never said how long.
I'm not sure how long. I just have square feet that I was working off of.
I don't see where it'd be more than 40 feet long. So, in that area to go 40 feet, how many trees would be in the way?
All of them.
Okay,
We only gotta come up regardless. If you have the funds this year, it might not be a bad idea.
To bid,
yeah.
that's the point.
You get them on speed dial.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. Why?
He just wants to buy a site for a second, see what he's gonna charge us. Okay. I know.
He won't know without looking.
Yeah.
Out of the
He's
first.
not gonna throw me a number.
Probably shoot high anyways.
You say they're smaller trees, are we looking at 12-inch diameter or smaller? Or?
Yeah, 12 to 14.
I think one thing you're overlooking is that no matter what,
They're coming
it's
down.
gonna be
Right.
bid within the year. You need to take
So you
it down.
spend it now or spend it next
I didn't
year.
realize it would turn into so much of a discussion.
All right, so
I wouldn't even have brought it up.
No, you're good, it's just, we need a little price, something he would be under that we would not have to say.
You didn't know the price when I had it done last fall, and nobody had a problem with it. Got done,
Actually,
and everyone- nobody said a word
we
about
don't need to know a price. It'll be under 20,000. It's in your budget.
Oh, and we're good.
it. I think it'll be under 20.
No, we're good.
So,
And that's not per tree.
Sounds
No.
great. Bonus.
okay, we do have a motion and a second to authorize Chris to go ahead and do this, so we may as well vote on it.
Alt,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Ducat,
Yes.
Johnson,
yes.
Barron.
Yes. Now it's official.
Thank you.
Anything else on the animal control? Are there any issues, Madam Control Personnel, whatever your title is now?
No, the girls moved over, the cages and kennels that we do have, they moved that over last week. We currently don't have any animals in there right now. They're still having luck they're doing an awesome job of trying to get them placed at different shelters and places, like Once Upon a Prayer, Vermilion. We do have a few of them being housed right now, that we're paying for. And then Linda, our warden, is actually keeping one dog. It's not spayed. It's a young female. I do have Dr. Malazzo, who's willing to do the spay, but she can't do it until November. So Linda is holding on to that dog. We're still trying to get it in somewhere, but the problem is with the females, especially the young females, a lot of shelters and rescues don't take them because it's expensive to get them spayed. So we're working on that one. But other than that, no.
Okay.
I'm just getting them some supplies they need for the temporary housing, as far as food and bowls and all that.
Got any empty cells over there for dogs?
Probably.
I already tried that. Shot me down.
We do a prison puppy thing.
I think it'd be a great solution.
There's a new sheriff, you never know.
All right, we will move on to discussion and action on playground equipment. We've got the playground equipment over here. It's been determined that it was there before Head Start, so that the ownership apparently is ours. We have, last I knew, 2 people interested in removing it for us at no cost, and they would take it and do whatever. So I don't know. I don't know. Technically, it's county assets, but the value of it is really more.
I know who I talked to, they'll take it, but they're not paying for it.
Well, I mean, it's more of a
Are they gonna use it for playground
liability.
equipment again? And that being said, you might want to check with the state's attorney, because since it's ours, if they take it and somebody that's not skilled, and by that I mean a playground certified person, puts it up and there's an injury to it,
We just need a liability.
Liability coverage. but-
yeah, from what I understand, from when I used to do that playground stuff all the time, they can still come back to the previous owner because we're the ones, even if we give it away. So might want to do a hold harmless, or I don't know, something like that with that, because that could get a little dicey.
I think what Jerry says is right. I think it's a situation, if we want to get it done, we need to act on it now so that it can be removed before winter comes.
I think you
But I think we should, whatever we do should be with the approval of the state's attorney.
Set up there too long, way too long.
I guess we still would probably have the mulch around it. Clean.
Well, I don't know what we're gonna do with the fencing and stuff. You know, if you guys think we need to tear it out, then that becomes another expense to tear it out.
The mulch is deep. I was piddling around over there a couple weeks ago just to see how
Had to be.
deep it is. And
Should be
then,
at least 3 foot.
I don't know, because it gets down to a point where it just kind of turns into compost. Because
Right,
it's been there
it's
so
been there so
long.
long. Yeah, but it should have at least been 3 foot for the playground equipment that they have.
3 foot deep? Really?
And it's worse than that when you have the big swings and stuff like that.
And I wanted to see how they're mounted, like on concrete, whatever. And yeah, there's concrete poured and then bolted down, like, you know, you see in every playground.
So-
No mulch there.
So it's bolted to concrete, it's not a pole that's set into concrete,
No.
so it wouldn't be that difficult to.
Now, I didn't look at every single piece, but I looked at a couple of like spring rocky things, and yeah, those are.
Okay, so
And the shed's gone.
Jerry, is it
over
possible
and
to
then
execute some kind of legal instrument with the person that takes it to absolve us of any liability?
Sure you can.
I'm sure that can be done, yes, but we just need to make sure that it's done.
Probably a contract for $1 exchange.
No, again, I think that we need to act on it if we want it done before winter.
Yeah,
But we can act on it with the provision of the state's attorney's approval. And we can get that approval before the full board.
and it
meeting.
will be out by a certain date in a contract.
Well, yeah, that would be, but I mean, if we have more than one person that's interested in it, we're gonna need to make a decision on that also.
Yeah, I mean, do we find out if they both want it all, or if they,
What are the two interested? I mean, I know the one.
I gotta get rid of
I don't know, I was told there was a second person.
There's a junkyard they could move it to.
I don't remember who told me.
Yeah,
If they scrapped it.
Is it Martinton?
Might be,
Okay, because they're only interested in 2 pieces.
okay.
they screwed us over on this thing.
I just wanted to double check, because I was talking with Perk, and he's the one that said
Yeah,
something to me.
now that you
They
mention
just
it.
would like the spring, the horses, the spring horses, and I believe it was the drum.
Place for it.
And the other.
I'm not sure if they would take it all, that's a question for Kurt or whatever.
They play
The other
games.
one would take it all, and clean it up.
Okay.
Sounds like a good deal to me.
If the other one couldn't get it all, would they take what was left?
Hmm?
Okay.
Now, who are you talking about? Who's the second one?
Here, Cooper,
And the reason he wants it is for,
my dad.
oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. It's personal. It's,
No, you're
he
okay.
has it at the house.
I actually had somebody else, so I was interested in all of it,
Okay, so then that might be.
and that was First Advance.
Yeah, he would take it, but if there's a school or a park or whatever, they obviously would come first.
Is that a school or somebody that wants it First Advance?
Baseball diamonds.
Okay. From what I understand, from when I used to do this before, and you might just pass this on, so Joe Blow can come and take it, but when it gets reinstalled, to meet the specifications of playground equipment and stuff like that, to do it the right way, you have to have an authorized playground construction person there to make sure that it is installed and safely in order to.
And from what I'm told, the person on the Lions Club is certified.
Perfect.
Because he runs the maintenance department also in Tremax. And he also has the background for it.
But he has to be a playground authorized.
I don't know if he is.
We run into that with McDonald's a lot.
Yeah.
All my parents do.
Playground authorized.
I don't know.
Because
So I guess one thing that we could do is just say anyone that takes it with the understanding that it is scrap. We're letting it go as scrap, whatever they do with it at that point, I don't know.
yeah, because we've already discussed
I don't
it.
think that'd be bought very far.
Well,
I'm sure there's just some kind of a release of liability that would.
I just know they put playground equipment in already.
Okay, well, then we have-
Places in Tremax.
okay, now this is where, we have 3 people now, how do we decide what we're gonna do?
First come, first served.
Well,
I'd say the first one that can get it out of here.
that,
No.
no, but how do you plan for that? You know, cause somebody could plan to get everything together and be here Saturday and somebody else comes on Friday. And then you got hard feelings
Well,
because,
you're gonna get verbal commitment, so you don't have that
How many
situation.
pieces are there altogether?
What?
How many pieces are there altogether?
I don't know.
You can draw a name out of a hat. That's fair, I think. Put all 3 of them in there.
I think you should take it all at once though.
Gotta take it all at once, yeah,
Yeah.
and clean it up. And sign the papers that they're gonna relieve us of responsibility.
That Jim Devine puts together.
Or who was the first person that expressed interest in it? Do we know that?
I don't know about Paul's person. I mentioned something to my dad, obviously. I knew about it first. And then Kurt talked to me probably that same week about Martinson wanting just the 2 spring toys and the drums.
Do we wanna go look at it, see how much is out there, and maybe there's enough to divide it up?
Mhm.
I mean, it'd take us 2 minutes to walk out there and come back.
Let's take a walk.
Let's stretch our legs.
Just leave it running.
Yes, we'll go down the wall to slide, but nobody wants.
I'll do coffee. Hang on, no coffee. What's the minute?
Amanda, are you still fostering? Are you still fostering?
Nope, she
I'm
officially.
the owner. So no more dogs can come in.
I sent Linda over and had her explain to him that he's got two options. We either get the relinquish letters or we have to go through the state attorney's office. He didn't want anything to do with state attorney's office, so he relinquished ownership. And Amanda signed an ownership, so she wants her.
Careful when you come in here. Don't come in here. There's a puppy. There's a puppy running loose.
So that's 2 for you?
3. I'm done.
Choose three popped up.
Last week, I don't care if that thing's running, but on the Iroquois Rescue page, there was a beautiful German Shepherd, or Dutch Shepherd. He's black, kind of a model. He was a gorgeous dog. But they said he was into prey and you needed a fenced yard. He does good with children, but not small dogs and cats. But he dragged me through the backyard. He dragged me through the backyard.
Yeah, we have.
Where I live, there's plenty of rabbits and squirrels.
Well, I have wildlife too, but
I think right now we have 6 cats being housed and 5 dogs. We're down to 5 dogs.
I was over in the center on Friday. I was like,
So is Linda keeping Olive?
No, the
Oh,
plan
okay.
is still to get her
stayed
into
in
there.
Okay.
She's working with a rescue, football rescue, but
I
nobody
would-
really wants to take her. She's afraid. She's big.
Olive's a pit bull.
Olive,
Always
she
the
is
pit bull
So sweet.
with Max.
she's very sweet. She was, I want to say, 10 weeks when Linda got her, took her out of the situation.
The puppy.
Yeah, and she's a real pretty color. She's got green eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she just calls her Olive. But she's a sweet dog.
Mm-hmm. She is. She hasn't brought her in to see us, so
No, we just see.
that's good. Don't bring her in.
well, you don't want a fourth one?
She was actually, her and her 2 brothers got taken out of a drug house. So we had to do something with them. The girls got the 2 boys in right away, but
They wouldn't take her.
they wouldn't take her.
Poor Olive.
I know.
Just because she's a female.
Because Linda goes, I feel bad because she's getting really attached to me and my 2 dogs, but.
That's the danger. In one of our drug houses in Milford, I noticed over the weekend, a for sale sign went up. I'm like, who is gonna buy that house?
Be surprised.
Yeah, that's true. And there's as with so many of those situations, there's a variety of people residing there or coming and going. And I'm like, where are they gonna go?
I'm sure they found somewhere to.
Yeah. Somewhere else to flop.
We still to have 2 bike cases open.
You said one's already with the state's attorney. That one I know about. Do I know about that?
I don't think so. I don't know, you might have, I think it came through ICOM in Milford. This past week. Good avoid. Not really, I mean, it didn't bite it real bad, but he was on a bike.
I'm not asking like that.
I don't even know if they took him to the hospital. We just filled on bite report.
We had a dog bite in Milford.
Yeah, it wasn't real bad with Lloyd and some friends were on some, or on bikes, I know that. So, and I know that the mayor's wife was involved. So, but I don't think they went to the, I don't think that the young man went to the hospital.
Well,
We
the
just filled
mayor's,
out a bite report anyways and follow up. And the dog, from what I understand, if I remember correctly, we looked it up, it is vaccinated and everything, so. It'll just go through home quarantine. Which it's in now. But this other case,
Another case.
he's bitten 3 times, and this last time was a Watsika. So,
we've got this dog, we're holding this dog?
huh?
Are we holding this dog?
No, we can't get the owner to relinquish it. So it's up to state's attorney's office.
And the dog lives in Mexico?
I had sheriff involved, he sent an officer over a couple times. Just won't answer the door, and if you don't hear the dog, you don't see the dog.
But when
I think they're out there playing on the equipment.
Probably so.
So we're just having
That's
a
why I
hard
didn't
time.
wanna go out there.
Out there
he's
swinging.
gonna make you feel a whole legal gambit.
And we don't have a choice since it's a 3-time offender.
I know I'm probably oversimplifying it, but I think they should decide to get rid of it and get the state's attorney to weigh in on the whole, that part of it. Pick one of the 3 and away we go.
And be done with it, yeah.
I don't know, Charlie, he might get out there and sit on one of the swings and decide he doesn't want to get rid of it now.
Charlie seems like he wants it gone, gone, gone.
I know, but if, once
Yeah.
it goes out there, it decides, oh, this
Well, I
might
had
be
mentioned
nice.
something.
You might wanna take
Yeah, his
it to his
playground.
house.
That's right.
Anyways.
That's, I'll make that
But
decision.
if there's a school
I'll
or
decide
something
that it needs to go to
it,
him.
they'll take it.
I agree, I just think you take it all or nothing and clean it up and get a signature on a release and be done.
Be done.
Now, the cleaning up part is probably the worst part, cause that mulch is pretty thick, and there
I
was
know.
new mulch put on there last year.
And
And I think that this committee then needs to verify what they want for cleaning up, because when you talk to most people and you say clean it up, they just think that you want the ground put back in the holes and just leveled out.
Right.
Removing the mulch and all that might be a different story.
and it might require
A lot more work than it's worth.
an inloader or a bobcat or something to scrape it out of there. And then you're gonna have bare dirt, and then what are you gonna do with that?
Mm-hmm.
You're probably not gonna get any grass between.
I almost think just leave that mulch lay there, and when the budget allows, we can have it cleaned out and
Yeah,
reseeded or
maybe,
something.
maybe Joel can.
One of the main
Bring something over.
benefits in just getting rid of the playground equipment is that any of the neighbors in the area that
Yeah.
come over here to use it will be removed from our liability and concern.
And the gate, one of the gates is open where the building was,
Mhm.
and that's why I think the fence should not go until the stuff's gone.
think you're right, Amanda, they're all playing on the equipment out there.
2 minutes, my eye.
Did you look at the animal control report this morning?
I have not gotten a chance to look at it. Chris came in and discussed it with him.
I wonder if that.
That's fine.
Yeah, I think those tires around first.
I'll take a look at it and go back to him.
Of course we were. Why wouldn't we? To make sure it works.
Charlie Tennant.
Charlie?
Oh, yeah, right.
Charlie Tennant.
That's what we thought.
They broke down.
Here, go for somehow.
I went too high on it, didn't I?
I had a computer glitch and that is.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so, had Kurt come out too, there's basically 3 pieces that they'd be interested in. Shaban's no longer is interested, so, let's just authorize. Well, Kurt said it'd be nice if your dad could kind of help get it out.
Let's see how it is, Kurt. What did they want, the 2 string toys in the drum?
Yes. At least at this time, that's what, you know.
I'm sure he would be willing to do
Why don't we authorize your dad to come and get it and distribute it as he sees fit with Martinton Park and stuff.
that. Okay.
Could Jill coordinate between Kurt and her dad too?
I don't know how well she gets along with those 2 parties.
Okay. Sounds like one of them not very good anymore.
Kurt and I have our issues, but he brings ice cream, so we're cool.
Bribery, you think?
He knows he works with women, I tell you, because he comes over. And, now, as far as cleaning up, Lyle, I'm under the understanding as far as cleaning up goes, it's just filling in the holes and leveling the ground back.
Right, we've discussed that the concrete should be deep enough unless it actually has to come out to get the thing out.
Right, in
It-
some cases it will.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, it would be, and then we would draw up an agreement releasing us from liability.
Sure.
And we'll talk to the state's attorney. It might be that we need to get $1 or something to transfer.
I think we can handle that.
Well, he said the park district could handle paying that, so,
Okay.
and that you guys can work out.
Okay.
So, do you have kind of what I said, or do you need it made in the form of a motion more clear?
Well, an agreement, so if, I don't know that you need a motion, then is that what everybody agrees to, or do you want it in a motion?
Well, technically, we're distributing assets to the county, so it probably should be an official motion.
Okay.
So,
So is that your motion?
I have it.
you have it. Would you like to read it?
No.
Okay. I will make that motion. Is there a
Okay.
second? Probably need to do a roll call.
Okay. Alt,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Ducat,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Aaron's.
Yes. And just fill the proper names into the motion.
Yep, I will.
Okay. That covers playground equipment. I guess claims. Did everybody have a chance to review the claims? Should have been emailed, but Sherry apparently is having trouble with hers. Would you like to look at the? Okay.
Just look at the sheet real quick.
So when will that stuff be out?
I'll talk to him. You can get it out pretty reasonable.
And I'll be here tomorrow.
Pretty
You
quickly.
can get it out before the board.
No,
That's fine.
Oh, yeah, John said you can't get out before the board.
Yeah, this I know. I know.
Yeah, I think we did. Over an inch.
almost done with the mowing contract now, or they have one this year left? I can't remember.
I don't know, we used to get a sheet that had all those dates on it.
Well, did we approve anybody new, or?
No,
Okay, so they must have one here left. I'm okay with that.
well, usually it'd just be this time of year that we start looking at it for spring. Because we were more focused on the farm stuff and making sure Chris was good with snow removal. We'll double check by the next meeting. Okay. Is there a motion to approve the claims?
Yeah, that's what I do tomorrow.
Is there a second?
Second.
Alt,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Ducat, Johnson, Aaron.
Yes. Is there any old business? Is there any new business? We have a motion to adjourn by Mr. Ducal. Is there a second? Mr. Alt. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned. Those trees cut down yet?
No.